I don't think I've ever told the story of the Carson story. Did I ever tell you that?
No, you haven't. I've been
Okay.
waiting for this story for a while.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Carson.
tell him who's Carson.
Okay, Carson is one of my old coworkers because he quit. So that's something that I haven't told you yet. Yeah. So, he was this really funny character. Like, he was a very interesting person and stuff, but really, really unique. Anyway, so I work at a construction site. Like, I'm a plumber. I'm an apprentice plumber, but it's all new construction and whatnot. So we take break. We all go to our cars and stuff, and then after break, which is 15-minute break, we are walking back, and there's porta potties and stuff. And so I'm like, oh, I kind of gotta take a whiz, and so I look. Obviously, everybody's used a porta potty. You see if the thing is green, and you're like, okay, I'll open it if it's green. If it's red, I'm not going in. I see that it's green, so I'm like, okay.
Green means go.
Green, exactly. Green means go.
Naturally.
And this porta potty kind of has a little lip on it, so where you have to yank it open. And I think they're doing that on most porta potties these days, so wind doesn't blow it open or something and whatnot. But so I yank this thing open, and he's in there, and he looks at me and just screams because I startled him so bad or whatever. And I was like, what the heck? And shut the door.
Was he sitting or standing?
He was standing. He was also taking a whiz. But yeah, he screams, and I'm I start dying laughing because I'm like, what the heck, Carson? Why don't you lock it? And he's in there dying laughing too. And he comes out with his pants still unzipped and stuff. And this is in the winter time, so we had multiple layers on and whatnot. So anyway, I didn't see anything at all. Never saw anything.
It's good.
But
get that out there.
Yeah, get that out there. Never saw anything. But he was like, oh, yeah, I never lock those things. And I was like, what?
Why not?
Why would you not lock a porta potty? And he was, I don't know why. He didn't have a good answer. He just was like, yeah, he was like, it'll take 2 seconds for me to get in and out. And I was like, but then this happens.
Yeah.
And stuff. And actually, this brings me to another thing I just thought of is that, it happened again, not where I opened the door on someone, but I was walking to a porta potty, literally had my hand on the handle about to open it, and I hear something in there, and there's these little vent things at the top, and I look up, and I can see the top of somebody's head, and I'm like, why is nobody locking these porta potties when they're in there?
They probably just think I'm gonna be quick enough.
There's nobody, or there's nobody around. I think.
Yeah. So anyway, it was hilarious. I could not stop laughing for 30 minutes after that, just because the way that he is. I was like, this is such a you thing to do and stuff.
So that's what made him quit.
And that's what made him quit. No, just kidding.
Pushed him overboard.
Yeah, but yeah. So that's the story.
That's Carson's story.
Yep, that's the Carson story.
I'm gonna miss the other Carson stories because you had some good ones.
Oh yeah, dude. There was some. He's a funny character. But yeah, he quit, which made me sad because he was entertaining.
Yep.
He's one of those people at work that at first you kind of found annoying a little bit, but then slowly they grew on you, and now you just find they're just hilarious.
Yep.
It's Michael Scott.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah,
Right there.
That's very true.
Anyway,
I feel
the jury's still out for some people on him. Some people are still this guy's just annoying.
That is very true. There's a lot of people now. A lot more people are vocal about their dislike for The Office.
Yeah.
So, I think
they just gotta watch it 3 or 4 more times.
just let it grow.
It's hard. It's hard to get anybody to watch a show one time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Taste.
So, but no, I was gonna say I think I'm a lot more when I open doors.
Cautious.
Yeah, cautious.
Just any doors.
No, not any door, but bathroom, even bathroom doors for sure. I even stand behind just in case. I do it slowly.
Oh, just say somebody's in there. Or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's
normally,
unlocked.
Yeah.
I'll peek under. If it's a bathroom stall, I'll look underneath to see if there's feet in there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Bathroom stalls for sure. I'll be more cautious on too and stuff. But this was
well, I mean, it's hard in a porta potty to
Well, yeah, I was just expecting usually in a porta potty, and at least in my head, I'm already okay, I don't want anybody trying to open the door on this thing. Yeah, so I'm I make sure to lock it and make sure it's locked. Whereas I was just so caught off guard that somebody didn't lock the door and stuff. And yeah, so anyway, but
do you think it's awkward when somebody knocks on the door when you're in the bathroom?
No.
Do you have a go-to response?
I usually, if I hear somebody outside the bathroom and like I'm like, oh, it sounds like
You're
they're
thinking
trying to go
already.
in, like
Yeah.
I give it a little cough or something. But
Cough.
I'm dying in here.
Make fake fart noises.
I've heard some people have funny responses, like
Yeah.
like if
like-
somebody knocks and they're like, "Come back with the warrant" or something like that. But I
That's
usually
pretty
just
funny.
say "occupied" or something.
Oh, yeah.
I
that's
always
fun.
people knock and I'm like, oh, someone's in here.
Yeah.
Occupied.
Yeah,
You just I never know what to say every time though.
Yeah.
I freeze.
yeah. Sometimes
Uh,
I go, "Yep."
I think I just got
Come in.
so used to working at my uncle's store. Like every time you're in the bathroom, there's always somebody trying to break down the door.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And
You just
so
start-
you just get used to saying like occupied.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've heard occasional funny responses like online where people are like, "Come in" or something
Yep.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So no, I don't think I get. I know there are some people that find it awkward to like respond.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think I'm just always ready. Like
Yeah.
Oh
at
yeah,
that
definitely.
point. So I don't know.
Anyway, this is the Breakfast Balls podcast. Well, late intro, but it was good.
Doesn't matter.
We've got Gianluca here, which is my
What's
older
up?
brother. Patrick Draymond,
Who is not his older brother?
who's not my older brother, and then me, Giuliano,
Who is
which
also not the older.
not my older brother.
A riddle.
Uh,
Starting the podcast with a riddle.
Who is the older
Pat
brother?
is Pat is older. Just
But
not.
he's not
I
an
am
older
an
brother.
older brother.
And he's not a brother, but he's
No, he is a brother. Not our brother.
yeah, that's
So,
true. Anyway,
Yeah. Welcome back.
maybe some
Uh,
of you know us from Rankaholics, our
Mhm.
previous podcast.
we did have
Um,
a podcast.
But we decided to switch things up.
Yeah.
So if
Mhm.
you're coming from that, welcome.
Mhm.
And if you're not, and if you're a new listener,
Welcome. Anyways,
also welcome. But
with the same
to a
amount of jubilation.
higher degree
Oh, okay.
because you're new.
Never mind.
Yeah. Oh,
Higher-
okay.
You're better than others.
You're
because
better than others because you're new.
Because you're finding us for the first time.
Yeah. So, I mean, we don't really have like a specified host. I don't think for this podcast.
I don't know. We're
Like,
all hosts.
Yeah, we're all hosts. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, so obviously this is your guys' idea originally.
Mm-hmm.
So does one of you want to kind of like tell? I mean, you guys have already done 2 podcast episodes.
Mhm.
We did.
This will be
Unofficially,
number
officially.
trace.
Unofficially,
Episode
unofficial.
trees.
I feel like a lot of podcasts that start out always record a trial podcast episode,
Yeah.
and they always talk about it in the first one.
Yeah. Did we do
Well,
that
did-
for Rankaholics?
No, because we just went. No, actually, because it was just me and Jordan.
Yeah.
And then
Kind of was, right?
yeah. So
Well, the other 2 have been like released, or well, I don't know if they've been released yet. but
Our
they've
2?
been- Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been released. So
they're
I mean,
they're
it's-
going to be. The
Yeah.
one has.
Yeah. So it's like
Supplements.
officially done. It's just like.
But you haven't told anyone
Yeah.
really.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
right.
saying. It's
We haven't-
unofficially official.
Well, and
We haven't promoted it.
No, and we
much,
haven't
not yet.
launched other social media pages yet.
Mm-hmm.
But we're also like we're way ahead of the timeline because like episode 2 will be released in 1 week.
Yeah.
This one
Oh.
won't be released for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we have buffer room if we're like, I mean, like if we couldn't record today, next weekend is Father's Day. The weekend after is Hoop Fest, which
Mhm.
we might also have to put off because if you guys are playing Hoop Fest,
Yeah.
weekend after I might be out of town.
And
et
then I
cetera.
think I'm gone the weekend after that, because that's July. What's that? No, I would be now. I leave Monday.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, we can figure all that
Yeah.
later.
Anyway.
But anyways, yeah, we are. It's the first one with all 3 of us. So
Yeah.
So then, does one of you want to kind of like say what we're doing on this podcast?
I think we basically.
For anyone
all
who hasn't
have.
listened to the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, the first one, Giuliano recanted his honeymoon recantation.
He took it
Is
back.
that the right word? I think it is.
No, I know. I just wanted
I
to.
think that's the wrong word to use.
Really?
I know-
Recant is when you take something back. Like you recant your statement.
All right.
Oh, maybe. No one. There's no way of knowing.
There's no.
We cannot look it up.
We're not allowed-
I do not know.
Okay, continue.
But the second one, I talked about my Florida trip. Did I talk about Omaha trip? I don't know. I don't think so.
No, yeah, I don't think you did.
There wasn't as much, but renounce, forswear, disavow. I don't
No,
think that's the right
there's
word.
no way of knowing.
Well, he recalled. That's a better word.
Yeah, there we
it's
go.
not. It's still not the word I'm thinking of, but
Forswear.
forswear.
I foursquared it.
But yeah, I mean, I think we basically all have stories. Like I've been taking notes from stories that stuff probably happened in here like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been taking a bunch of notes. I think you've been doing the same. I
Yeah.
don't know how much you have. Do you have a lot of notes?
I have so as far as like stuff to talk about, I have some stuff to talk about. with at least one story in there. I've just tried to keep things more recent instead of like going back like a month ago or like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's it's a little trickier going back. And being like, what was that about?
Yeah.
But,
so, but I mean, as the podcast goes on, and especially like the next like couple weeks when there's like I mean, for you guys there won't be any buffer. For us there'll be a buffer, so there'll be stuff to talk about. But yeah, I mean, I'll be keeping stuff more tabs on stuff.
We could basically we could just bounce around.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was waking up. I think it was a Sunday for church, and I think I was trying to go to the 8 o'clock mass, so I set my alarm for. Actually, I think it was like the 6. So whatever. I had my alarm for like 6, and then I was like, I'm too tired. I'm gonna go to the next mass. So I tried to set my alarm for 7:03 a.m. and I accidentally set it for 7:03 p.m.
Oh gosh.
And then like woke up on my own at like 7:30. I'm like, man, like I haven't slept in a while. My alarm's probably gonna go off any minute. Like looked and I was like, oh my gosh. It's like, well,
that's so annoying.
Guess I'll go to the late mass.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty annoying whenever that happens.
I don't know.
Is your alarm clock like? Is it like a more modern one?
It's on my app.
Oh, okay.
It's on app, I should say.
So, because I have done that.
Yeah.
Well, not the act like done at AM PM, but I've like have this old fashioned one where I can when it turns the alarm on, it can turn on to like the radio.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Wow.
And then, but there's a thing where I can turn on, like I can set the alarm, but then there's a separate button to turn on the alarm.
Oh, right. I remember this in alarm clocks. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like once you set it, you still have to switch
turn
the
on
button
the
to
alarm.
turn it on.
Yes. And I've done that multiple times where I've set the alarm but forgot to turn the alarm because I turn it off on the weekends. I'm not waking up early.
Yeah.
Unless I have to go somewhere. And so I have done that multiple times where I have set the alarm but then forgot to turn the alarm on, and then it just
that's brutal.
Or like I'll do the same thing where I wake up and I'm a little tired. I'm like, you know what? I'll go to like the later mass or something like that. Like especially if I'm going to the 6 and then go to the 8 or something like that. Like I did that today actually.
Yep.
So
that's funny. Yeah, I saw you at church. I was like, I thought you were going to the 6.
It works out better.
I woke up like at 4 and I was like couldn't fall back asleep. And then I was just tired and I was like, I'm just gonna go to the 8.
Yeah.
Nice.
So so the alarm clock, like I'm
surprised you still use an old school clock.
Bought one. Well, I don't really want to use my phone, and I do like what I wake up to is sports radio because we used to do that as a kid, or when Julian and I shared rooms, we would have the alarm go off to like sports radio. So I kind of like when I wake up, I'll like be listening to the sports radio. So
like crackling bacon, except
sports
radio.
The only reason I use an app is because I will not wake up unless my app makes me get out of bed, walk in, and scan a barcode to turn it off.
That's pretty nice.
And because otherwise I would oversleep every single day of my life because I sleep through everything. Like I would just roll over and hit snooze and fall back to sleep. I am just like not disciplined enough to like, yep, that's my alarm, get up, whatever. I have to walk out and
nice. I use my phone too, but I want to make the switch to a regular alarm clock or like like actual alarm clock, but I don't trust that I will wake up to it. Not because like I also have the same app you do, but I don't have to scan a barcode or whatever.
You have a math problem?
No, I don't have anything. It's just regular. I don't think I'll wake up. Like I think I can put my phone near my head so that I'll hear it.
Okay.
But I don't think I guess I could put the alarm clock next to my head.
But you don't want to put like I mean, even if you do the alarm clock, you can set. It doesn't have to be sports radio. You could just set it's like a constant beeping.
Yeah, that's what the alarm clock that I have is. But it's like I don't know. I just don't trust it. Yep. So
you like hear it for a while, and then it becomes soothing background noise, and then you fall asleep to that.
I think it's one of the most frustrating things, like not waking up to your alarm, or like not setting your alarm, or like not waking up to your alarm right away, and then being late, and it's like, oh, that makes me so mad.
Just starts your day bad, and you're like, dang it. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, so, I guess I'll tell the story.
Go for it. You got something?
You mentioned my honeymoon earlier.
I did.
That I recanted it. No, but so prior to like going on the honeymoon and going out of the country, I would use a squatty potty every time I would go to the bathroom and stuff. And then 2 weeks without the squatty potty, and boy did I know that, like, I feel the difference.
Changed a man.
Yeah. Every time I went to the bathroom, I was like, man, I miss my squatty potty. So that was a big change. You know, I didn't think about it.
Did you notice a decrease in time spent in the bathroom using a squatty potty and not using a squatty potty?
Oh yeah, definitely using a squatty potty is so worth it because less amount of wipes, less time in the bathroom, and it just like is smoother. So
I still have yet to use one. So
dude, it's so.
I think
nice.
I've used yours once, and I was in line.
No, dude,
it's game changer.
Honestly, like it's nice, and part of the thing that like makes it less amount of time, though it's like kind of a con and kind of a pro, is that like sometimes my legs will fall asleep for whatever reason when I use the squatty potty, and I don't know why, but they'll get all tingly, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta get off this thing.
Because your legs are probably raised, so all the blood's flowing away, and then you're probably crunched over on your phone or something. And then,
no, I sit up pretty straight when you use the squatty potty.
Oh,
you kind of have to, because otherwise it's just weird.
Yeah.
Okay, then never.
Because then you're folded. I don't know.
You're folded.
This is supposed to help.
Dude, when I first used the squatty potty, like my legs, I like pushed the thing out like way far, so I like was forcing myself to like lean back, and I was like, this is not comfy at all.
Doesn't feel right.
Yeah, and I was like, this thing sucks. And then like I think I just like left it like out by the toilet, and I think what I did was I was talking to Celine about it. I was like, yeah, it's just so uncomfy to use the squatty potty. And she was like, let me see what you got going on there. And so like with all my clothes on, this is when we were like,
before marriage.
Yeah, before marriage, so all my clothes were on. But I like sat on the toilet and like propped my legs up on the squatty potty. She was like, you have that thing way too far out. I was like, you can scoot that thing in. Yeah, and I was like, oh.
You're like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, and after that, it was good.
Didn't know everyone just had the knowledge of how to use a squatty potty from birth.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna have to look up wiki how.
wiki how.
Yeah, YouTube videos how to use squatty potty.
Keep safe, search on.
Yeah. But yeah,
Dang.
so that was pretty funny.
Jeez. I shot a wedding, I think it was like 3 weekends ago now, I think.
It had a squatty potty in it?
No, fortunately. But it was at the Davenport downtown, which is an expensive place.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, who was I talking to? Oh, I was talking to Ryan, who was Jordan's basketball team yesterday, and for Hoop Fest, their cousins are coming up, and they got a room at the Davenport, so they're hoping that their court is right next to Davenport.
Oh, that would be so nice,
but even having a,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that we have not done this. Only for
We
the
talked
sense
about it a lot.
we have talked
Yeah.
about it. We need first of all, we need to invest in this because it could be really fun. Not only to just go downtown and then
you have a place to chill.
Yes, exactly. You would literally, you don't have to like drive all the way back to the apartment. You can just go into your hotel and then relax, go to the hot tub.
Yep.
Yeah. For the people who don't know what Hoop Fest is, it's
Mm-hmm.
the biggest 3-on-3 basketball tournament, outdoor basketball tournament in the world.
Yeah. And it's somehow in Spokane,
It's
Washington.
in Spokane, Washington.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, that's like huge. I think that would be a game changer is being able, because like otherwise you have to walk around downtown and like tire yourself out, or like, oh, I don't have a comfy place to sit and chill out.
Yeah, can't even sit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
even imagine like you could, let's say you have a game at 8:00 or 8:30, and your next game is not till 12.
Yeah.
I mean, you could walk around. I mean, that part I do like walking around.
I do too,
but and let's say your next game is like after that, like let's say you win or lose, you play at like 3. You could go back to your hotel and just relax for a little bit.
And if you get it from Saturday to Sunday, then you can like stay the night there and like
exactly.
Yeah.
Why and it's only one night. You only have to do it one night,
Yep.
so it's not like we're spending like 100.
Yeah.
I don't know how much Davenport.
I'm sure. I know they raised the price.
Oh, 100%.
Everyone raises the price,
especially around Hoop Fest. So I imagine it's probably like $200. But guys, it'd be $50 per person for 4 people.
Exactly.
I mean, so for a team, I mean, worth it. Why have we not done this?
Yeah,
definitely.
You guys
but
should.
Anyway, continue the Davenport thing.
Oh yeah, so we were. Everything was at the Davenport. Like they stayed at their rooms were there, and the ceremony was there. But it was the same weekend as the Lilac Parade, which is just a parade downtown. I don't know consistently when it is, but this was the last weekend of May. But it's a parade to like honor veterans. And so we have the ceremony, whatever, dinner, and then we're going out to do sunset pictures, and photographer's like, I want to go down to this parking garage, go up to the top. It was like 4 or 5 flights stories. And so we're walking out, and it's like 5 minutes before the parade's supposed to start. So everyone is just lined on the streets.
Oh gosh.
And just like tons of people, as many as will fit alongside. And So it's like, well, the only place to walk is like down the middle. And so we were kind of walking on the street on the side, and then we were like, no, we're telling the couple like walk right down the middle of the street. And then everyone sees like, oh, they just got married. So everyone starts clapping. He is like in the Navy, so he had his full uniform, which just fits perfectly to it. And so he's just like, it was like euphoric.
Yeah.
They're just like, this newly married couple's walking right down the middle. Like, you couldn't have planned this.
Yeah.
And it's nice that everyone's on the side. Yeah.
Everyone's
already.
cheering, and we're just like, and afterwards, I mean, we're like filming and all that. And afterwards, the guy I was shooting with, he's like, I don't even know if like I got a good video of it, because I was so focused on just like, this is happening so quick. Like, I need to just hit record. And then it was like, he's like, I like wasn't even in my head completely to like know if I was getting a good shot, because it was just so much happening. But I was like, sometimes stuff will happen like this, and I'm like recording on my camera, and then I pull out my phone and I'm just like filming the whole thing, you know. So I have like a really wide video of us walking down.
That's cool.
But at first I was like, when like we had to park in a parking lot right across the street, and it was $30 a day to park there.
Oh my goodness.
And because it was the Lilac Parade.
Yeah.
And so at first I'm like, why would you have your wedding the same weekend? Like, you probably paid more for a hotel, all this, and like parking sucks. There's all these people now. It's just busy. And then this happened, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it worked out.
Yeah.
But then we go up to the top of the parking garage, doing pictures, and then like the motorcade starts coming down. So there's like a dozen cops on motorcycles, and they're doing like circles in the streets, and then they go down to another intersection, and they're just doing, and then a marching band, all this. So it was pretty cool. Like, we were all just up there watching, and but it was very cool.
It seems like it was one of those like, for the couple like walking down, and for you guys, it was one of those like in the moment type of moments where you're not like you said, it's happening so fast, so you're not really sure what to do. But it's like kind of being like a concert. You're like, you want to experience the concert, but at the same time you're also like, I want to record this and remember it later.
Yeah.
That type of like that type of
stuff like that'll happen sometimes when you're filming weddings, where you're just like, whoa, this is so cool, and then you're like, crap, I should be filming this. I think that happened yesterday. Like, I forget what it was. I think there were a few times, but like they weren't really dancing at all. It was kind of, I could talk about it more later, but it was kind of an interesting wedding. But they finally all get on the dance floor. Like, the bride and groom were like, everyone come out. So they're all dancing. They like start a little circle, and so we're outside the circle filming them, and then this other circle forms around us.
Oh gosh.
And so like the three of us are all trapped, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And like these few kids were next to me, and they look at me, and they're like, what the heck? And I was like, I don't know, guys.
That is so funny.
Like, but it was one of those moments where you were just like, holy crap, and you're like, I need to be filming this. Like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
But
That's pretty
it was
funny.
awesome.
Is
nice.
Do you have any moments from weddings you've recorded for people at like our church? Is there any moments that you can recall, like you like in the moment? Like,
oh man, I don't know specifically like at the
that
church,
you've done,
but like just from people's weddings, one that comes to mind right away was like Sam and Dominique's, when everyone was like doing the worm. You guys had a circle going, and like Jordan and all that. Although that wasn't like quite on the same scale, and maybe it was because
but it's because you caught it on camera.
Yeah, but also maybe it was because I just like I hadn't seen as many, it was like one of the first ones, whatever. But yeah, I'd have to really think and like go back to everyone's.
Did you do? I mean, we talk about this wedding all the time.
Yeah.
But Sarah Keene's wedding.
Yeah, that was the first one I did.
Okay, I mean, obviously, like the rain and like the jazz music and like that. That's one of those ones where it's like, in the moment, it was like pretty fun, but like you look back and like, dang, I want to
that was a blast.
I know. I wish I had like captured all that better, because it was my first one, and so I just like was shooting everything. And then by the time that came, I was like, okay, it's so far late in the day, like I've shot so much, I have plenty. So I just like put my stuff away. No. But then looking back, it's like that's the moment everyone talks about from that wedding. So I'm like, how did I not put that in?
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Well, and for anyone who listening new, if you know us or not, there was a wedding that they had a live jazz band for their music, and then it was outdoor wedding, but then it started pouring rain, so we brought everything indoors into this like very small house.
Yeah.
Or it was like a
dance floor. Yeah.
Dance floor, very small. I think it's like an Irish dance recital place, and everyone was crowded and bunched up in this on like the second floor of this
way
like,
overpacked
house.
with people.
Yeah, exactly. And then the live and the power went out too.
Yeah.
And then but the live the jazz people like continued their music and the lights were off but everybody, I don't know what lights were on.
I set up like a few of my lights.
Yeah.
I just like put them on the windowsills or something way up. And
people,
then some people had phones and
exactly, and then people were like dancing. But the rain was that it was still pouring rain
dumping
outside.
buckets of rain.
Oh yeah, it was
I remember
storming.
Like we were all parked kind of in the grass, and like some people weren't stuck, but it was like my car's in like 6 inches of water and like I remember the owner coming in. He's like, okay, just like you guys can stay as long as you want, but please get home safe and just know that like the bridge over here is like not like covered in water and like got washed out, but like there's just a ton of water.
There's something under there,
like,
so you can drive on it.
There's a troll who lives there and will eat you.
So one story from that, it was in August, so it was super hot, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna leave my windows open, a good 6 inches.
Yeah.
And filming your first wedding, that's all you're thinking about. And so I went like the whole day, and then I finally went out to my car, and I was like, oh my gosh. And it was, like seats were soaked through.
Dang.
And so I think I like drove home with all windows just open, just trying to air it out. I'm like, okay, this will do it. And the thing was, the next day I went out and like all the doors, everything was open. I like pulled the seats up kind of to vent them out, like baking soda and just everything. And it smelled
so
horrible for a while.
Dang.
Was that in the Forest?
My Forerunner.
Yeah, I was a Forester.
Car I still have. And now you can't tell. Like the smell went away after I don't know a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. But it was so bad. I was like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, that's tough.
What do you do in that situation? Yeah, that sucked.
That's pretty funny.
But that was an amazing wedding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a great wedding. When you left, was it still raining or no?
I think so. Yeah.
Because when I left, I'm assuming you stayed probably pretty late.
Yeah.
But when I left, I wasn't the last one to leave by any means. So, but it was still pouring.
Yeah.
So and I think I drove your car home actually. I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, because I drove a mom's van.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I drove your car home.
Yeah. So.
But yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
I have a little game for you guys. Just a little quick one. But so I got a call at 6:54 in the morning on my way to work. Now, what was the call about? This is a multiple choice question.
Okay.
Was it A, a spam call about a hair growth pill? B, a guy saying he was going to turn me into the authorities for calling him that early in the morning?
This is good.
C, Domino's saying my pizza was delivered? Or D, the post office asking why I didn't come into work today? Which, if you don't know, I worked at the post office.
Wait, so was this when you were working at the post office?
No, this is like a week ago.
Okay.
So I used to work at the post office, but I quit like over a year ago.
Yeah.
So
year and a half.
Those are your options.
Okay. Initial thought, I want to go with post office.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But I think Giuliano would put that in thinking like, oh, they're going to go like reverse psychology. So I don't think it's that for that reason.
For that reason, I'm out.
Yeah. And then the other 3 options, I feel like it could be equally any of them.
What was the third one?
I'll run through them again. So
A,
a spam call about a hair growth pill. B, a guy saying he was going to turn me into the authorities for calling him that early in the morning. C, Domino's saying my pizza was delivered. And then D, ask the post office asking why I didn't come to work
I'm going to
today.
go with B because, so the guy calling you back with the authorities, because spam stuff happens like that all the time, or like people get wrong numbers. But the reason why is because he's telling a story about this. I feel like something crazy had to happen for this to be considered a story.
Okay.
At 6:56 or 6 whenever in the morning.
6:54 in the morning.
He did say that the guy said, "I'm going to turn you into the authorities for calling me so early," and Giuliano's not the one that called him. He called Giuliano.
True. But that's why it could be like a part of a spam thing.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think it's C, because even like some people maybe were ordering pizza early, but I don't think anyone's ordering pizza that early.
No, I just think that's like a generic like.
That's a filler answer.
That's a filler answer.
Yeah.
I think pizza.
So I guess that leaves me with A. Yeah.
Which the hair growth pill is oddly specific.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why
yeah.
it could be A also.
I'll go A.
But then also the post office thing, I could definitely see like something like
yeah.
a weird mix up.
Yeah, because like there is a chance, like they might still have his number or whatever, and
or like some old data was pulled up and they're like, oh, Giuliano's on the schedule.
Yeah,
today. I didn't know he worked here again.
Who knows? Yeah,
or
some
who's this
people are
Giuliano
dumb.
guy?
Yeah.
And they maybe mispronounce it.
Very likely that it's D. I'm gonna go A though.
And then I'm gonna go with the scam one, the B. Yeah.
B. So you're going A and
Yeah.
you're going B. All right. Well, the answer is B. A guy saying he was going to turn me into the authorities for calling him that early in the morning. It was, yeah, dude, it was so weird. Like,
nice.
That's like we're brothers or something.
It was so dumb. Like, I was like not almost late to work because I was almost to the job site or whatever.
No.
But I was driving on the freeway and I get this call and it was from a number that I didn't have. And I usually don't pick those up, but it was a 509 number and it was like, I'm in the process of buying a house, so there's these people that I need to get a hold of or that need to call me. So I'm like, okay, it could be something related to that this early in the morning, I don't think, or it could be like one of my managers that haven't called me yet, so I don't have their number saved or something. And so I picked it up, and it was this guy, and he was like, who are you? What company do you work for? And I was like, what? And then he hung up, and then I was like, what just happened? And then he called me again and I answered it and I was like, hello? Like, who is this? And he was like, who are you? And I was like, what? And like, I barely didn't even get a word. And he was like, I'm going to turn you into the authorities for calling me so early in the morning. And I was like, and I was about to say, you called me. And then he hung up and I was like, what the heck? Like, so confused. And so, and then I never heard anything from it. I mean, I don't know what authorities he's going to call.
Yeah. What area code was it? Our area code?
It was a 509, Washington area code. So
interesting.
Yeah, so I was like, so it was some old guy too. So I was like, somebody called him and then he tried. I don't know if he has a old school phone or didn't know how to hit the
put in the wrong number to call back.
Yeah, it was weird, but yeah.
Well, and for him to. He called you first.
He called me first. I didn't make any calls.
He had to have dialed a wrong number.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know if he probably got a scam call or a spam call or whatever, and then tried
to call it back, but put in
tried to look in the number, and it was one number off of mine or something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I was like, what is going on?
That is.
Yeah. So it was pretty fun. It was a fun morning.
I got a prank call the other night as well.
Oh yeah.
I was ready to fall asleep. I'm like, all right, setting my alarm. Okay, it's good. Someone calls, and it was a 509 number, I think. No, actually, it said unknown caller. Just no number. And I was like, okay, I don't know, whatever. But
sometimes you're like, I just want to entertain this. Yes. What could it be?
And I also, my dad has a number that's blocked. So even though I have his number saved, if he calls
your dad's
me,
number blocked?
if he calls me, it shows up as an unknown caller.
Really?
Because he doesn't want people having his. This is years ago when he first got a phone. He's like, I don't want my number getting out. So that's how he set it up.
That's pretty.
He's trying to be off the grid.
So even if I have his number saved, it still shows up. But anyway, so I'm like, well, there's a chance it's dad. So I answer, and
yes,
she was like, Dad? Do you have milk? Are you coming back? I answer, and this girl's like, hi, it's Rebecca from Walmart. I was like, hi, Rebecca, how are you? Good, I'm just calling to let you know that we have your purple hair cream in, or something.
That is so
knee
funny.
cream, or something weird. I was like, okay, sweet. I was like, she's like, so you can pick that up anytime. I was like, okay, is all of it in though? Because I ordered a lot of bottles of it. She's like, yeah, everything you ordered is here. And I was like, okay, sweet. And then I think maybe I was like, is it just purple? Because I ordered multiple colors. And she was just playing along. She was like, yep, everything you ordered is here. Just pick it up whenever you're ready. And I was like, okay. That's kind of disappointing because I was under the impression you were going to deliver it. And then they were like, no, you can pick it up. And I was like, all right, thanks. And then I was like, this has been a lot of fun. Thanks for prank calling me. This has made my day. And then I don't remember exactly how it ended, but she was like, yep, okay, bye.
That is so funny.
I was like, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to hang up now. And they kept kind of talking. I was like, okay, thanks for doing this. Bye.
Yeah.
But so I think I know who it was right away because I recognized the voice as one of my Chick-fil-A coworkers.
Oh, really?
Okay.
And
I was going to say if it was Walmart and they're like, hey, Rebecca, and it's a man's voice.
Yeah.
I don't think this is Rebecca.
Sometimes that happens at Chick-fil-A. You get their name the person taking the order gets the name. Then they pull up to the window, so it's like, all right, Rebecca's coming next. Hey, Rebecca, and it's some guy.
Yeah,
it's like
it's Rebecca.
Sometimes they're like,
it's
yep,
like some guy with a deep
okay.
voice.
Yeah,
you got a problem with that?
Yeah,
that's so funny.
But and then I texted the girl who I thought it was. I was like, "Did you just prank call me?" And she's like, "What? I don't know." And I was like,
yeah.
Right. But yeah, it was fun.
That's pretty funny.
Good entertainment.
I would say, just to follow up on that real quick, I haven't had any prank calls or stuff like that recently, but scam calls, like the ones where you like answer it and then nobody's like, there's no voice on the other line, but still like connected for like 30 seconds and then it hangs up. I find those ones the creepiest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Listening.
I think it's like, I don't know if it's a law or something, but usually if you pick up the phone and then there's no like talking right away and then somebody starts talking or something, it's a scam call.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ones that nobody like, you just hear like,
yeah. Oh, that's creepy.
Then I'm like, hello. But no, I've never had that. That would creep me out. But like I've like answered the phone and purposely waited for like some sort of. But then sometimes I won't hear anything.
Yep.
And then I'll say hello and then still don't hear anything and then it hangs up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
You wait for them to.
The way I think about those is I'm like, I feel like that was a newbie scam caller or like someone who just
like first prank call.
Yeah, just got hired or whatever
call.
as like at the call centers being like, oh shoot, they actually picked up. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. There's a guy on YouTube who he will pretend like he'll use like this voice modulator and he will record himself like on YouTube. He'll record a video or live stream. He'll actually live stream it and he will like mess with scammers or whatever, and then like he uses the voice modulator so it can make it seem like he's an old lady or and but these live streams go on for like 2 or 3 hours. Like these people are trying to get like
because he just like wastes all their time.
Yeah, he likes to waste their time, and then he likes to slowly get them to be super impatient and then like yell at them. It's pretty funny. I haven't watched them in a while, but like it's pretty funny. Like,
I've seen a couple of videos like that where they like purposely waste their time or whatever and like make it seem like they're gonna spend a lot of money or whatever and stuff, and then they do something and the person's like, no, what are you doing? Don't do that.
They always get super mad. Yeah, those are pretty funny to watch.
Yeah.
So okay, I guess I'll go with some of the stuff I have written down. I brought it up. Yeah, you do that. I brought it up on the last podcast we did with Rinkaholics that Jordan and I had talked about that we're getting into like rating movies. We had brought up that we're doing Letterboxd.
Seen you posting those?
Which has been a lot of fun. And I actually got Giuliano to get it too.
Nice.
If anyone doesn't know
something today.
Yeah.
Nice.
If anyone doesn't know what we are talking about, it's called an app called Letterboxd.
Free promotion.
Yeah, free promotion. Sponsor us. Where you rate movies. Basically, that's the whole like thing. And you can follow people and rate their movies. You can leave reviews. You can do you can log your like watch list. So like if there's a bunch of movies you haven't seen, it's an easy place to like store that, and then it's a lot easier to find a movie that you haven't seen, you know, or like when you want to pick a movie. You can also do like lists of, I did one where it's MCU movies. I have them ranked. I did top 50 movies of all of my personal favorite movies, and then anytime I watch a movie, I'm like, does that belong on the list? That type of thing. It's pretty fun. It's honestly, this has become so like you guys have been getting into golf. This is my new hobby. Watching movies, or maybe more specifically, new movies. When I say new movies, I really mean like movies I haven't seen.
Exactly.
But also could be new movies. Jeez. Anyway,
he gets it. He gets it.
Okay. But no, that has become my new hobby. I see watching movies as more of a hobby now than as like just something to do.
Oh yeah.
Which has really just like changed everything. Yeah. Like it has made it like more enjoyable.
That's good.
But what I was gonna say is, I don't know what the last movie you guys saw in theaters was, but Jordan and I went and saw the new animated Spider-Man movie, Across the Spider-Verse. Really good, by the way. But it may have been one of the not worst movie theater experiences, but definitely on the bottom end of that.
Wait, what movie was it again?
Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the new animated Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And it actually both times, so I've seen it twice now. in theaters, and both times it was the second time wasn't as bad, but the first time there was like it was a packed theater. It was opening day because like now you can like see movies like it will say Friday, it comes out Friday, like June, June 5th, but really you can go see it Thursday at like 3 p.m. or something now, where it used to be
3
like,
p.m. I thought it was like 9
No,
p.m.
you can
It used to be like midnight.
So
But
it used to
now
be
it's
midnight.
like,
Now it's like, and then it used to be like 9 p.m.
It's like
on
the
Thursday.
whole. It's
Now
like the whole like Black Friday sale.
Oh,
thing
yeah.
where they start it like Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And it's
Yes.
like, what are you doing?
you can
Black
now go
weekend.
you can now go see a new movie that comes out on a Friday on a Thursday at like 3 p.m.
Jeez.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
But which may be preferably or preferably.
Yeah. I mean,
the
I'm
time
not
to
saying
do
it's
it.
bad.
No, it's not bad. I mean, actually, I did like seeing some movies at midnight or some at like 9. I do prefer seeing opening night with people who like specifically like superhero movies. Seeing it with a packed theater, when like everyone wants to see it seriously. But so this experience though, because Spider-Man is such a big like known character, and everyone's gonna want to go see the movie. You're gonna get all various ages and all various like people who are into it or maybe just kind of casually seeing it. Anyway, this movie theater, when we went opening day, there were some kids in the back who were tossing like M&Ms at people.
Oh, that's the worst. Even if
Yeah.
it's people that's the worst.
Yes. That but they tossed it at some old guy, and the old guy who was sitting in front of me, he looked back and like pointed at some people, and then Jordan told me this the other day that he was getting stuff thrown at him. It was before the movie started.
Jeez.
But that was really annoying. And then this other funny, so Brianna saw the movie with us, our cousin Brianna. There was like a bigger kid in the front, like the next to the aisle. He had the aisle seat. Anyway, so we're walking up into our aisle, and so we need to get by like him, and I'm gonna assume it's either his dad or his grandpa. And so we need to get by them. Usually people will stand up and like move back.
Yeah.
But this kid kept walking down down the aisle, and I was like,
Dude.
I was like, no, we need to get by you.
How's this gonna work?
He just kept walking a couple steps and then turn around, and it's like, no, we need to get by you. And then
Because it's assigned seating, right?
yeah. So eventually we got to the spot where we needed to sit down, but he just kept moving sideways, and I was like.
That's
He
how
just
this
walks
works.
out and leaves the theater.
Yeah, well, I don't know
Thank
how.
you.
I don't remember exactly how it ended up playing out as far as like us moving eventually getting past him. But like, I think he did the thing where like instead of like moving him back across the seat because it folds up, he moved like forward against
that's
the seat.
annoying.
Yeah, so it's like okay, so
And the seats are already so
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah.
and the worst
like an
part too was like
airplane.
I was the first one to like go in, so like we had our group of people, so
Yeah.
I sat down in my spot, but then I had everybody else that needed to get by also.
Oh,
So it's just
yeah.
Jeez.
that whole thing. And then Brianna comes in a little bit later, because Jordan wants his snacks,
Yes.
And so Brianna like also had to use the bathroom, so she like gets to our aisle, and then she's like, "Can you like pass this down, like pass the food down to these people?" And then so she hands like the big popcorn to like the kid, and he hands it to me. He's like, "This is your delivery fee," and like grabs the popcorn and starts eating it, and then hands it to me. And I was
pretty
like, what the
funny.
heck? I mean, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
As long as
so-
it's a little bit.
Yeah, so that wasn't bad. The kids throwing stuff in the back was pretty annoying.
Yeah.
There was also a couple comments made during the movie. They were pretty funny,
Yeah.
but like, it was just kind of like it kind of added to the movie theater experience, but also in some
Yeah.
way like kind of
You
not
know,
ruined
like,
it.
don't
but
talk during the movie.
Yeah.
no,
Like,
yeah, but like some kid like Spider-Man made like this total like what I don't even know how to describe it. But some kid was like, said out loud, he's like, W Riz. Like, he said that. I was like, oh, like I laughed. Like, Brianna and I like laughed, but it was just like, it was so loud. I don't know how everyone did. Like, a couple people did laugh.
Yeah.
But the second time, though, that we went, and this is a question I'll bring up to you guys, was a Tuesday. And actually, I'll tell you the thing that I asked Julian, or I invited Julian. I don't know if he wanted to see it with us.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, what time are you guys seeing it? And I was like, oh, we're seeing it at
I think you said
like 6:40, and then he was, and then you're like, oh, I don't think we can make it to that one, and then,
I was like, sorry, you keep going.
no, well, yeah, okay, so I was like, he's like, okay, I don't think I can make it to that one, and I was like, is there any later times? So I was like 7:40 or like 7:40 or something like that, and then he's like, yeah, I don't think he's like, yeah, I can't go. I gotta wake up early in the morning, and then I was like, well, why'd you ask if there was a later time? You already said.
So the thing is, like, Celine and I had a meeting with somebody at 6 o'clock, and you said that you guys gonna go see it at like 6:40, and so I was like, okay, like, Yeah. You asked if any other later time would work, and you said there was a showing at like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like that's too late.
Yeah.
That's why I asked.
Why'd you ask later? Because
I was looking for like a 7:20 show or something.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't even have been able to make it to that one because the meeting.
Which is why it was
like
funny because he asked for a later showing, but then knowing that he probably wouldn't have been able to make it anyway.
Yeah.
But
because normally the movie times are spaced out by like an hour and a half or 2 hours. They're usually not that close, but you're like
if it's a superhero movie, there sometimes is like a showing every half hour.
If it's a new movie,
new movie like opening day or opening weekend, like especially for the Marvel movies because everyone wants to go see those.
Yeah,
I mean, at least a very vast majority do. But so Jordan and I just went to like the 641. So we went. And immediately I knew there was going to be trouble because there was a couple babies that were brought into the movie theater.
Gosh.
And I was curious if you guys have had or what your guys' thoughts on, it's kind of like the same thing with church.
I feel like it's different.
In some instance.
Because
if the kid, what I'm saying as far as similarities is like if the baby starts to cry and then the parent doesn't take the baby out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's where I'm finding the similarity.
Church and movie theater on the same level.
Sorry, my bad. Movie every Sunday.
Anyway, but no, it was just like a couple. I mean, I would say a pretty good portion of the movie, like the kids were like either making not a comment, but were like
talking
being a little
goo goo gagas.
Yeah, kind of basically, kind of that. And Jordan was like just glaring at them, and at one point, one of the kids like ran down the aisle and then ran up, and then the parent kind of chased after. So
that happens in church too. Actually, kids run up the aisles.
Parent just runs and tackles.
He was like the parent was like sorry. At one point though, the one that was sitting in front of us,
it's fine.
Yeah. At one point, the parent in front of us took their kid out and then didn't come back. So
we don't know if the kid's okay.
Yeah,
we haven't seen them.
The kids behind us weren't as bad. But I mean. I actually haven't had too many experiences with kids being a problem in movie theaters.
Are these like babies?
No, they were like toddlers. They were like 2 or 3.
That's a little different.
Or 3 or 4.
Terrible twos. Well.
Yeah. It wasn't a baby, but it was like a 3 or 4, 5-year-old.
Okay, I get bringing your kid to that. I was gonna say don't bring babies to movies and stuff, but but I get like if it's a talk because it was an animated movie.
No, yeah, I'm okay with them bringing for like example when we went and saw the Mario movie, I totally expect kids to be there. Or like when we went and saw the Lego movies, I totally expect kids to be there. Spider-Man, I expect kids to be there, but my expectation is if you're gonna see a movie at a movie theater. At some point, if the kid is like making, too many noise, like kind of respect, because there could be a lot of other people who haven't seen the movie yet, or like if the kid's like fussing a little bit, that's okay. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But if they continue, it's the continuation.
No, definitely.
And nothing happens.
As a parent,
take.
It made me think though during the movie. I was like, okay, how do I be the parent that doesn't let this happen?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna train my kids when we're at home to be quiet during the movie.
We'll go to a movie every day.
Yeah.
Just like, hey,
you were bad today.
We get here.
You don't get dinner.
You said one word to me. You said, "Dad, do you still love me?" in the movie. And
I said no because it's a movie. And you should be quiet.
Shut up.
Anyway.
That reminds me. I don't go see movies a lot, so I don't know I don't think I've had any experiences. But even like on an airplane or like in church, I think it was the Florida trip. Stop me if I've told the story, but like it was my first flight. I think.
Hey.
Just kidding. Stop.
We've heard this before.
I think it was my first flight. I sit down to this mother with her like, I'm bad at guessing ages. I'd guess 18 months. I don't know.
The mother?
She could. Yes.
All right. Well, young mother.
Yeah, start him young. I don't know. The kid could probably walk. Yeah, could probably stand. Wasn't really talking. So I guess 18. I don't really know.
Could have
how
been 5 years old.
Could have just been a dumb 5-year-old. But I sit down and I'm like, oh, this is not a good start to the trip.
Oh yeah.
But she, for some reason, like didn't get to sit next to her husband, so she was like, if you're fine, like maybe we could switch seats, whatever, so I could sit next to my husband. I was like, oh, where is he? And she's like, he's way back there, like in a middle seat. And in my head, I'm like, I don't want to do that. And I was like, and then I think it came up and she was like, do you want to? I'm like, not really. She's like, okay, that's fine. He's sitting next to someone that does. So then,
wait, were you sitting next to the lady's husband?
I was sitting next to the wife. So yes.
Oh.
No, wait.
You were sitting
No,
next to the wife.
the wife,
And the husband asked you to switch.
No,
the wife asked me.
Yeah,
She was like, "Would you want to switch?" And the husband was further back in the plane,
Oh yeah.
also in a middle seat. And so I would have had to take, because I was on an aisle to begin with, in like, I don't know, the 10th row. And if I switched with the husband, I would have gone back like 10 rows and been in the middle.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, that's a downgrade, woman. So I was like, no. And so then this older lady she moved up. So she switched with the wife and was sitting next to me in the middle seat.
Gotcha.
But I was like, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But I think it was like, maybe that flight or the next one. I don't know if I've told this one, but there was like this older Mexican lady across the aisle next to me, and she had a like orchid plant like 2 feet tall. She was holding the whole flight. She was holding it.
Wow.
And at one point she had to go to the bathroom, so she was like, "Can you hold
Will
this?"
you
I
hold
was
my
like,
plant?
Yeah. So I was like,
Will you
okay.
watch my plant?
And so I just like
make sure it doesn't go anywhere.
I was just holding it, and I was like, this is kind of fun. And she
Water it a little.
I killed it.
It's peen.
It's just dead when she comes back. I'm sorry, I don't know what I did. But then like, yeah, so she comes back, whatever, I get back. Then at the end of the flight, she's like showing me her boarding ticket. She's like, do you know, like, and she didn't speak any English. So she's just pointing, and I was like, oh, okay. So I flipped to the second one. I'm like, okay, you have like a ways to go to your next gate. And she just wasn't understanding anything. And I was like, and then I think she was wearing a mask too. And I was like, it's just like,
You're like, I can't even.
you're like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I can't sign anything. Anything I say is just irrelevant.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'll show you when we get off the plane. And then she was like, okay. And like understood whatever. And like, I got off the plane and completely forgot and left. And then like, I don't know,
You
an
still had
hour
her
later.
plant, huh?
Oh no! I had our boarding passes. I was just probably still in the airport. Can't talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, there was another guy that was sitting next to her that I think was like gonna help her. So I was like,
yeah.
it was bad of me.
Nice.
I just forgot
This lady's
immediately.
like,
Yeah.
what the heck? He says,
He left me.
That's pretty funny.
She was going to
Dang.
Guatemala though. That was
Oh,
her
wow.
end destination. So
I'm surprised she can
Guatemalan.
take plants across the borders. I don't know. Sometimes in airports they're like, "Oh, you can't take this water across," you know? Like
yeah.
I don't get like
The
or
rules.
seeds or something like.
Yeah.
I
What
don't.
if that plant had more than 3 ounces of water?
3
point.
well, also, people could have had weapons in the soil.
That's true. The soil could
Did
be a
it,
weapon.
did it have to go? Did it have to go through like the belt or whatever? Like the
Probably.
TSA.
Or she might have walked through with it.
Maybe.
She honestly probably might have walked through with it, because if she would have had to lay it down in the X-ray machine, she didn't want to. She's
Oh, yeah.
keeping that thing upright.
No, yeah.
I'm surprised they
That's
didn't
nice.
just tell her to keep it at home or something. Or like, sorry, you can't bring this through.
I've never seen that someone like bring
Yeah.
a plant.
She probably was attending something like I think it was. I feel like there was another like lady on the plane, and they were like, "Yeah, we went to this
Plant festival.
plant show or
Mhm.
whatever."
I mean, I get
And she
people
was
want to
going
like
back to
take stuff.
Guatemala.
Like
Yeah,
my dad tried taking like seeds for like different plants
Yeah.
across, and they confiscated it
Yeah.
and stuff. And
yeah. Even like you drive from Idaho to Washington, and there's a sign that's like you can't take homegrown fruit or whatever.
Yeah,
like there's,
Mm.
I've never understood.
Yeah.
Like the details of that, the specifics.
I think it has something to do with like the bugs or something. Like there could be
Oh yeah.
Idaho bugs.
Contamination.
Yeah, we don't want the
Idaho
Idaho bugs.
Potato eating bugs on there.
We want
We want our potatoes safe.
we
We heard about your potato famine, and we don't want.
we
any
don't want
part of
those
it.
freedom thinker bugs. We want our liberal bugs.
I will say, as far as like the whole babies thing in the airplanes, I haven't had any sort of super bad experiences in airplanes with them. No,
Good for you.
no.
You're flying
I mean,
soon.
But I haven't sat next to any. I've had like them sit like pretty close, like even
Yeah.
like a seat above, but
Mhm.
nothing like. Does it really bother you, like
Well,
crying babies in an
Yeah,
airplane?
there was one flight where a baby was like 2 rows behind me, crying like 80% of the 3-hour flight or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, this sucks. Because it's just like, you can put in AirPods and noise cancellation, all that, but it's still like, they're
Slightly
still
there?
just slightly.
yeah.
And it's like, just like, it's just constant.
No,
It
yeah,
probably
I-
sucks. It sucks for all the people who are probably like doing some sort of work on their computer
Yeah.
during an airplane, or like trying to read. But luckily, I'm not doing any of those things when I'm on airplanes, so it doesn't
Yeah.
suck as bad for me.
Yeah.
But like,
but if you're trying to sleep, like,
true,
you
that
probably can't.
sucks. I mean, like if you're going on like 11-hour flight, I mean, it already sucks that it's 11 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think here's the other thing though too. If you're trying to watch something, I think it was recently where it it was more recently noticeable where I was trying to watch something and just the airplane noise.
Yeah.
It was like overpowering. Like I had it on full volume and it was still like.
Oh yeah, that's
noise
really
was pretty loud, and I was like, dang, I don't remember it being this loud. But
yeah.
there's not really anything you can do about it. So it's like,
just jump out.
I guess upgrade.
Yeah.
Upgrade to a new phone.
To the cockpit. I don't know.
Yeah, or fly the plane. Hey, can we land this real quick? I'm trying to like. But yeah. So that was my movie theater stuff. I think going forward though, real quick, as far as on this podcast, you might hear. I'll probably bring up movies a lot, to be honest.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's good.
We'll bring up golf a lot, probably.
Yeah,
so
we have a tea time today, so we'll probably hear about that on the next podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but
how long have we been recording?
We are at 55 minutes.
Nice, solid 55.
So 55.
Yeah. But no, there's a lot of movies I've been watching. I think I've watched. This is probably a record. I'll be honest.
Wow.
Of movies I watched this year. I think I've watched 36 this year.
Dang.
It's only February 2nd too. Kidding.
That's like one a week.
Like 70 movies
Yeah,
a day.
it is. Hey,
One of
there's
us is closer.
Just some quick math for you,
Look,
but
Dude. That reminds
some
me.
people have watched already over 100. Like some of the people I follow have already watched
Wow.
like 180 movies this year.
that's crazy. That's actually a lot.
That's
Holy crap.
insane. That's one a day.
Pardon
We're
my
almost
French.
halfway through the year,
Mhm.
and that's I don't know.
Pardon my French, but holy crap.
Holy cow!
holy noodles.
door.
So, we filmed a wedding yesterday, and it was at the resort, and it's like you got to go into the golf course, so you got to go up to the gate. You got to be like, "This is why I'm here."
Mhm.
So I go up, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here for the wedding." And he's like, "Okay, nice." And I'm like, a videographer, whatever. And he's like, and so
I didn't ask.
he's like, "Too much, dude. I don't care. Get out of my sight, dude." But the bride and groom were both Chinese, and everyone that attended, except for I think like one white family, was Chinese.
Wow.
And also, I think I heard some Russians, and I was like, "This is confusing," but I didn't try to look into it too much.
Mhm.
But he's like, "Okay, cool, yeah, go ahead." And then he's like, "Lot of Chinese or something," and he's like, "They all come pulling up to the other side, like they all go on the left side of the
Oh,
gate,
really?
like they're which I didn't think Chinese drove on the left side of the road.
Maybe they do.
Weird.
Maybe-
Maybe they think they're in England.
Maybe they think we're English.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't blame them.
Yeah,
We're English.
maybe.
But
That's
yeah,
wild.
it was.
That's
I
pretty
thought that
funny,
was
actually.
hilarious. I was,
Mhm.
and then
Wow, that's actually surprising.
yeah,
That's funny.
but it was kind of funny because like we started the day and like there were some that were speaking English, but then there was a lot of foreign languages spoke, and it was just like I don't really like know. It just kind of feel out of place.
Was there any different like traditions or things that they did that's like
No.
or did the bride wear like a Chinese
All of that
gown or something?
Was
or?
this like she had a white dress? He wore like a white suit. All that was like the same. I mean, just like the wedding ceremony was how they usually are. They had like red Chinese boxes at every place on the table, and they had like traditional Chinese candies in them.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
But they both are from Texas.
Oh.
I don't know why they're.
Why are they having their wedding in Spokane?
Well, and that's the question I asked
Too
the
hot.
planner. I was like, "Why? How do they know about Coeur d'Alene?" And I think her grandma lives here, and they would come visit, and she was just like, "This place is awesome. Like,
Oh,
I want
that's fair.
people to know about Coeur d'Alene." So
That's
she
fair.
And
wa-
the Coeur
she
d'Alene
had her
people are like,
wedding
we
here.
don't want people to know about
Yeah.
Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah,
Coeur d'Alene is a cool. I mean, it's a
Coeur
cool
d'Alene
place.
is cool, especially like you rent the resort, you're right on the water. It is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
And,
Costs
like-
buco money though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, the amount of money they spent on this wedding was insanity.
oh, I bet.
Just like the flowers alone were like thousands of dollars.
Did you say this was
I'll tell you guys off
in
the
the
podcast.
Coeur d'Alene Resort?
It was
It
$1,000,
was-
guys.
Yeah, so there's the Coeur d'Alene Resort, but the Hagedon Event Center is over by the floating green, the golf
Oh.
course. So it's like
Hagedon. What a horrible name for such a nice place.
I think it was named after the guy whose last name.
What
was
a great
Hagedon,
name
So
for this
watch
gorgeous
it
place.
there. It is. Yeah. So it's I don't know. It's part of like the Coeur d'Alene, whatever the word
Yeah.
is, community.
That's
I
cool.
don't know, but it is separate from the resort. It's
That's
a ways
cool.
away.
I think for some reason I heard Davenport and I was like, wait, that
Oh.
doesn't add up. But I
That's
don't
the
know
last
I
one.
don't know if you said that or not. But
That was the last wedding.
Yeah.
I shot
Gotcha.
3 weddings in the last like 4 weeks.
hey, good
First
for-
one was at
hey,
Davenport.
Mm.
Hey, good for you, man.
I was gonna bring up this thought. I don't know if you guys have had it, but because you said there was like you said Chinese people,
Yeah.
and then Russian,
Yeah.
some Russian. So
think.
you're like, how did that happen? I don't know if you guys have ever had this thought, but it's like because we're American, so whenever you see like American married to like a foreign person, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, like that's crazy, that's cool, happened. But do you ever think about how like other countries that happens, like an Italian
Other-
married like
A Chinese.
a Spanish person,
Yeah.
or like a Russian person?
Yeah.
There's
Driver.
like
I
that's
know.
that's the thought. But like,
Yeah.
I was like,
It
that
seems
happens in other cultures
crazier to us, but it's
Yeah.
just like, just as normal.
too. Yes, yes.
Whenever I see like a I don't know if it was mixed marriage is the term, but like a American marrying a Russian or something like that. I'm
Mhm.
always like, hey, good for that. Good for that. You know, good for you guys.
that.
Yeah.
Uniting countries.
It's like the world uniting.
But no, yeah, I mean that happens in other like countries too all the time. Like maybe a Swedish person marries like a Mexican
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows
It
how often it
happens.
happens?
No, I'm sure it happens a lot.
It's just like it's
I've never had
for
the
some reason
thought.
it's like a interesting thought to have. Like
It
I don't know
seems
why it's so
weird to us, but it's
Yes.
just as normal as
as us
your
marrying.
dad
a-
marrying your mom.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dad marrying your mom.
Wait a minute.
Did your dad marry your mom?
Oh yeah, but that's not as crazy. Both American. Just kidding.
No, yeah.
No, yeah.
No, it was just a weird random thought I had. You know.
Yeah.
What
That is very
cool.
true. Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
Crazy thoughts, man.
Man, thoughts be crazy these days.
I was brushing my teeth like a week or two ago.
Hey, good
and
for you for brushing
I
your teeth.
Way to
spit.
stick the hygiene.
Thank you. I spit my toothpaste, and guess what? It landed in the shape of Alaska in the sink.
Wow, hey.
I froze, and I was
really
like,
uniting America.
I was like, wow,
Didn't know Alaska was this close.
that's like close to Russia. What if an American married a Russian? That'd be so
Whoa,
crazy.
dude.
And then Gianluca was like, what about a Russian and like a Chinese? And I was like, no, it doesn't
Dang.
happen, dude.
Doesn't happen these
That would
days.
never happen.
Never happens. No, but I
That's pretty
actually
funny.
spit my toothpaste in the shape of Alaska, and I was.
Did you take a picture of it?
No, I don't think so. I just.
Good. I didn't want to see it. I
Wrote
don't
it
want to see
down.
your spit.
That's really
If I took a picture and showed you, you'd probably be like, "That's not the shape of Alaska,"
Probably.
just because it wasn't perfect.
No, hey. That's really funny. That gives me a thought. That brings a memory to my head.
Brings me to my
One
next
time-
point.
One time I was walking down downtown and like during Hoop Fest,
Yeah.
and I come across this like stain on the sidewalk, and it was in the perfect shape of the Washington State.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
It was a stain though.
It was a stain on the sidewalk.
Huh.
It was. I was like,
Did you take
whoa.
a picture?
I don't remember.
I don't believe you then.
Oh, no photo.
Go back.
evidence. Actually, I mean, do you ever look at like the stains and like on the pews or whatever? Like, it kind
Yes.
of looks like a interesting stain
Yeah.
there or whatever.
Yeah.
So, or then you stare at it too long and it looks like it's moving, and then you're like,
Yeah.
I'm caught in a trance.
And then you're like, wait, I'm at church.
I'm in church.
I need to be praying.
Stop.
Anyway,
That's funny.
Jeez.
That's pretty funny.
Shall we wrap up?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. Little golf action.
Yeah, we do have golf. We'll be talking about that next.
Probably talking about Hoop Fest.
Yeah.
We'll probably record after it. I'm guessing. We'll see.
like the like
we'll have a
af-
lot of fun things to talk about, actually.
Yeah.
It'll be. I'm excited for the next episode.
Father's
Actually, I
Day.
didn't even get through my stuff for this episode. So
Me neither.
hey,
Brother.
Yeah, but who?
I have
good stuff.
I have some good stories from Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah,
Every day is fun there, and just fun times.
dude,
people,
that's fun, man.
thank
I don't
you.
know. I don't know what you think about that, but that's fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, so events are happening. I mean, I don't know when we're recording next. If it's
No.
Hoop Fest, then we'll be talking about Hoop Fest and Father's Day. But if it's after Hoop Fest, and then you're gone, and then I'm gone,
Yeah.
possibly not. I'll be ready to go to
Yeah.
my Florida
Could
trip.
be right before you leave.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance.
But if not, I mean, it looks like we have a lot of stuff to talk
Yeah.
about. And
Be
yeah,
after our birthdays probably.
Yeah, our birthdays are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So mine's actually on Hoop Fest.
Yeah.
Like usual.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Never
But-
mind.
But yeah, so that'll be fun.
All right.
Look forward to that.
Thank you for listening,
Yeah.
everyone. And eventually, when we have socials, we'll put those up and we'll talk about them. But we don't yet, so
So don't social-
maybe
She
by the
follows.
time this episode comes out, we do, and it's in the link. So if
Yeah.
it is, double check.
And if
But no
they're
promises.
if you
No.
guys never hear this, then I don't
It
know.
was great.
Nothing.
No, yeah, no. This is fun though. I'm glad we're doing a podcast because not only is it like for them, but it's also for like us to look back on.
Oh yeah.
and like review our lives.
Can you imagine like when you have a kid in a year and be like, "Hey bud, let's listen to Dad a year ago,"
Yeah. Hey,
And
hey,
you can
bud. I know
already-
you're a newborn, but
and he
let's
can
listen.
already comprehend it.
Yeah, that'll be fun. He'll be talking.
Wow, Dad, you were so cool then. Yeah, Celine's like, I don't know what happened, but
That's pretty funny. All right, well, we'll
thank
talk
you for
to you guys
listening.
later.
We'll see ya.
Yep, bye.